Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, word to my brethren in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm actually wearing a Julius Irving shirt, so shout out to Dr. J. Um, you know, Another one of those prospect review videos. Just wanted to talk about prospects that maybe I haven't touched on before. So let me know in the comments down below if there's any prospects that maybe I don't know about, or maybe that I haven't talked about that you'd like to see me talk about on the channel. And I will do my due diligence and have a video ready for you guys as soon as I can. But in this video right here, I want to talk about a guy whose name I've been hearing about a lot about the last 7 or 8 months. Another UK prospect, Anthony Yarde. If I'm saying his name right, Anthony Yarde, from the UK. He's fighting at light heavyweight now, but one of the first fights I watched of his, he was actually campaigning as cruiserweight, and it's not hard to see why. The dude is big. He's huge for light heavyweight. I mean, this dude's cutting at least 30 pounds to make light heavyweight. There's no question about it. The dude is definitely huge. But aside from his size, I watched two of his fights. I watched one of his fights with a guy named Chris Hobbs, a journeyman from Southampton in England, and then I watched another fight where he fought some random dude from Texas, on the undercard of Liam Smith Canelo Alvarez. So, a couple observations I made about Mr. Anthony Yarde. Now, obviously, watch him fight. The first thing that jumps out to you is he kind of holds his hands like Floyd Mayweather. He's a freaking orthodox fighter. So he's got his hand right here. And then he's like kind of like this, kind of like the Floyd Mayweather Philly shell thing. For the Philly shell defense, he kind of has his hands held in the Philly shell position. So he's like that, and very athletic. You can definitely tell he was influenced by Floyd and Roy Jones Jr. If he watched boxing, which I'm sure he did to some degree. Obviously, very athletic and big for the weight class. That's anybody can see that. But then again, then you start watching a fight and he loves to throw body shots from these awkward angles. Like you'll think that he's out of range, and then he'll just rip these body shots, and they'll land flush, and they actually really hurt. And I like the fact that this is a guy when you go look at and research him. He didn't have a big amateur career. I believe he had like less than 20 amateur fights. And the fact that a guy like that is focused so much on the body, usually guys are headhunters and they don't focus on the body. But to see him attacking the body so early in his career and putting such an emphasis on body punching, I like that already out of him. So there was that. He likes to use his jab, and he likes to pivot in close quarters. So if you get on the inside with him, he likes to pivot and create a new punching angle, come back to the side, and then kind of just work off that. So Anthony Yarde, conceptually, as a fighter, he seems to have a lot of like young Floyd and Roy Jones in him. Like that's the style he wants to fight, which you can only fight for so long usually in boxing because it's very dependent on reflexes and athleticism, which decline over time. Boxing is wear and tear on the body, but for the now, he can definitely do it. So there's that. Head movement. I was very impressed with his head movement. Showed great ability and awareness to slip punches. Mixing in his feints to disrupt the opponent's rhythm to set up whatever he wanted to do. Very exceptional for a guy with only 11 fights. I was impressed, and I could definitely see some of the reasons people get excited about this guy. Much like he does with his pivoting in close quarters, he also obviously, like I said earlier, the body punching in close quarters. This guy who fought Chris Hobbs, he stopped him. He knocked him to the canvas 6 times with mainly body shots, and Chris Hobbs is tough. I believe he's the only guy to take this guy 4 rounds so far because he only has like 11 fights. So Chris Hobbs was taking body shots left and right, and they were doing damage, and that's what it is. And in the fight at Cowboy Stadium, granted it was only a round, he fought some random journeyman guy. I can't remember his name, but showed the ability to counterpunch out the ropes. Kind of catch and then shoot off the ropes, kind of like we see Floyd do. He did that there. One instance in the fight, and I was like, okay, that's all right. I like that. It was pretty cool to see that. So he can counterpunch out the ropes. Obviously, it's very subpar opposition, but nonetheless, it's in his skill set. And I want to give credit to Doug Fisher. Doug Fisher called him he has the most athletic body and build on a British cruiserweight since David Haye, and I gotta agree with him on that one. The guy looks like an Adonis at cruiserweight. I mean, at light heavyweight. So, I think Anthony Yarde could definitely be a major player in this division. I don't know how long he'll be able to stay there, but the power is there, the speed is there, the boxing brain is there. I think it's just like any other fighter with his talent level, any talent in boxing. What's going to happen when they actually fight someone and he gets hit flush in the chin and gets tested for the first time? We won't know until that fight happens. But until then, we're just seeing a guy that every fight is getting better and better with time. And I think the ceiling for him, because guys who, and this is how it is usually. Like, if you look at Kell Brook, Nayo Inoue, guys who didn't have big amateur careers, guys who tend to not have large, or Brian Jennings, guys who don't have large amateur careers, they usually are naturally great athletes if they can get to the top. If they become a top level contender in boxing or a champion, it's usually because they are like ridiculous athletes. And like I said, the guys in there like Kell Brook, Inoue, Brian Jennings, all great athletes. Yarde definitely fits that description. So for that reason and that reason alone, I think he can follow that trend and snatch up a title and become a world champion at light heavyweight. It'll be interesting to see how he moves through the ranks, but I definitely enjoy watching him fight. He's getting a lot of comparisons to Nigel Benn, which I think is warranted for the style, but I think he was a little more technical than Nigel Benn. Nigel Benn just came there to take your head off. This guy kind of likes to set up his destruction, if you know what I mean. So Anthony Yarde, definitely someone to watch out for. Go check him out if you haven't already. 11-0 with 10 knockouts coming out of the UK. And that's my review on him. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know which fighter you'd like to see me do next. Any prospects, any weight class, let me know. If I haven't heard of them, I'll go watch a couple fights, take some notes, and I'll give you guys my my analysis on that. But that's my Anthony Yarde prospect review. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just giving it. So until next time, take care, guys.